My name's G. This is the IrishBombSquad. Uh, Let me see. Oh, it's going to make me keep it like this. So, this is my first time going live. I do have some content on the channel, and it's more knife collector related. But I think I got more to talk about than just knives. Um, I've had a crazy life. Um, I grew up running around the swamps in North Carolina when I was a kid while my pops was in the military. Um, I'm kind of looking. I don't see the chat or anything like that. So I'm not sure if I'm actually live here. Let's check something out. I'm going to look on my wife's device here. Oh, there. Yep. Looks like I'm live. Anyways, just wanted to make sure I wasn't necessarily talking to thin air. I know nobody's in here or anything like that. So um, I guess it's just an introduction of what I'm doing with the channel. I'm going to give a basic rundown of my life. I've done a lot of time in the penitentiary. I've been in 3 times as an adult. Started doing time as a juvenile at 13 years old. Ran amok, joined gangs, sold drugs, did drugs, got clean and sober. Got a lot of experiences, and I'm just trying to share my experiences and see if there's something that someone might be able to benefit from it. Hey, welcome in, folks. Appreciate you, Gabriel. Again, just the channel for me is going to have a little bit of prison content. And tonight, the story that I'm going to share is one of my second prison sentences. I'm out here in Oregon. Some folks trying to say the Oregon system's soft, but I've seen more murders inside the penitentiary than I have on the streets. So this story is about 2 different gangs. There's the West Side Mafia and the West Side G's in Oregon. And it was a 2-on-1 fight. And without any warning shot or anything, officer up in the tower out of Snake River shot one of the 2 guys jumping the other guy, and it went in his pelvic area, shot around in his hip and pelvic area, and came out in between his legs in his growing area. Richard, good to see you. Stan, good to see you. Definitely appreciate everyone jumping in, man. I didn't expect anyone to really be here. I'm not going to go on too long because I really just wanted to do an introduction. So it was kind of crazy. The whole prison went on lockdown. The officer that was up in the tower that shot the guy, they ended up moving him somewhere to where he wasn't working general population, and the guy's husband that was working general population, they moved up into the tower. It was kind of weird with the dynamics of how they were so worried about their officers and retaliation. South Africa, man, big love and respect, family. I'm so glad that y'all made it in. Over there in Ireland and Sweden, man, we guys got. I love what YouTube can do with the stretch that it can do. I want to hit the 10-minute mark. I'm kind of scared to use foul language or really talk too much. I've seen a lot of people getting their channels taken away, and I don't want to get a cork put in me before I even get to do anything with it. Um, so that's the little section of the prison story. About me, I grew up running around in the swamps when I was a kid while my pops was in the military. Came over to the West Coast. I was in North Carolina. I'm now in Oregon in the United States. Um, Came over here with a different accent. It was different where I grew up. You gave folks 100% respect right out the gate, and you trusted folks right out the gate. And then the paradigm shift of moving over to Oregon was you got to earn your trust and you got to earn respect. And for me, it was just kind of a trip. Let's see, you kind of have the style of rock here. I appreciate it, man. Uh, Malungus. Is that how I say that, man? I'm hoping I'm not chopping up anybody's names. Uh, Ended up running around the streets and getting thrown in JDH, juvenile detention, when I was like 13 years old. Grew up in the system until I was 18. Made it 7 days off of probation or parole when I was 18, and was right back into the adult system until I want to say 10 years ago. I got off paper. Um, I've got 20 years off of meth and heroin, or 21 years now off of meth and heroin. And this month on the 5th was 9 years off of alcohol completely. For me, I kind of what I want to see from the channel is sharing my story and seeing if folks can reach some little nugget out of that that might be able to help them along their path, you know. If anybody has any questions, let's go ahead and knock those out. I appreciate that, South Africa. So yeah, any of y'all recognize who JD DeLay is? This is one of the Crusades 2.0 shirts from him. That's one of my homeboys. Uh, we're both in the Irish Pride. Um, it's the organization that we found throughout in the Oregon penitentiary system. I was never in a gang until like until I turned like 26, 27 years old. I always rolled solo. I always ran with gangsters, thieves, and hustlers. And when I got locked up in prison, the big thing for me is I grew up back in North Carolina. I had no clue this many white people existed until I moved over here to Oregon. I said, Stevie, what's up, my guy? Hey, just a heads up, we're switching more from knife content to prison stories, recovery stories. Um, Kind of giving a breakdown of my life. Last time me and said Stevie were in communication, I was doing knife content, and my pops passed away from pancreatic cancer. And he actually helped me out in a big way. I had someone's prototype knife, and with my pops passing away and having to switch up everything in my life, my living status, everything. I didn't have funds. I had to move out. I actually went, and me, my wife, and my 2 kids went and stayed that whole summer out at campgrounds, paying weekly fees at campgrounds. And said Stevie was able to help me out and cash at me the money that I needed to be able to get that knife back into the postal service and back to who it belonged to. So big love and respect, my guy. I definitely appreciate that. Back onto it. Ended up clicking up with a gang. I didn't know this many white people existed until I moved to Oregon. Um, Got into the gang system and found Irish Pride, and it's everything that I stood for. At that time, I was really big on getting clean and sober, and some of the guidelines and regulations of Irish Pride was that we didn't do drugs anymore. That we get out, we go to school, we get a job. If we got families, we take care of our families. If we got parents, we help them out. It was just really uh, a way to show and represent ourselves in a much better way and bring up the rest of the community in the process by bringing ourselves up. A lot of us got out, went to college, work as mental health therapists. I just got certified as a mental health peer support specialist, and I'm uh, what is a health care, also a traditional health worker. That's my wife in the background. She's pretty camera shy, so you guys might not ever get a chance to see her. I've been waiting for a long time to really get this channel up and going. Had issues with my teeth and whatnot, so that's kind of kept me shy. But one of the biggest things was I was on Zoloft, which is an SSRI, and it completely killed all my motivation. I was on it for like 7 years, and the more I learned about it, the more I realized what was happening to me. And I finally had to work with my doctor to detox off of. Hey, nice to see you, Courtney. Big love and respect, family. Um, I was finally able to work my way with working with a doctor detox off of Zoloft, off of an SSRI. Um, I'm just over a year without the medication, and oh, cool. I'm after 10 minutes. I hope they don't mind me smoking a cigarette on here. Hopefully, cigarettes don't bother none of you guys. What was I saying? I totally forgot what I was saying now. Um, I saw that I was past the 10-minute mark. Oh, Courtney says my best friend, he was Irish and he was recently murdered. And I'm sad to hear that, family. I hate having to deal with loss. Well, the older I get, the more people it seems like that are dying around us. What was I talking about? Anybody want to help out? Remind me what I might have been talking about right before lighting the cigarette. This gangster thing is fucking up your country for real. Yeah, I heard you guys had it pretty crazy over there. Malungus, I heard that you guys had it pretty crazy in South Africa there for a while with a bunch of the white farmers getting murdered or something like that. I'm not sure if you're still in here, boss man. Talking about the meds. Oh yeah, the meds I was on. It's taken me about just over a year now, year and 3 months, to where I'm able to be functional. I was finally able to be able to go and get certified as a peer support specialist, as a mental health peer support specialist. Um, what I'm looking forward to is getting more experience. That course was a 40-hour course. The recovery part, to become a recovery peer support specialist, that's a 20-hour training. So I want to add that. But the higher education that I want to get is an 80-hour, but it requires 2 years of on-the-job experience. So I got to get some sort of practicum in. And that next level is the health and wellness peer support specialist. After that is the family peer support specialist, and that's about where it levels out for me. Said Stevie says, I recently lost my best friend because of his mental health breakdowns. I'm a big proponent of doing whatever it takes to help folks. Awesome. Yeah, dude, well, back when I was doing the knife content, said Stevie, um, I was taking 8 different medications in the morning, and I think 3 of those were for pain medication. I've since phased all the pain medication out. I went and replaced pain medication with kratom for 3, 4 years, and had the worst detox in my life that I've ever had, even off of heroin. It was off of kratom. Like it was worse than the hallucinations, detoxing off of any kind of opiates and pills. This, it it was gut wrenching. I was in the hospital over that one. I've never been hospitalized detoxing off of opiates, but detoxing off of kratom, that was one of the roughest things I think I've ever put up with. It's the only time that I've ever understood why folks ever think about maybe deleting themselves. I mean, it's not like I had that thought at that time. It was just, it was so painful. I felt like I was having a heart attack. I was sensitive to light, smell, taste, touch, hot and cold flashes. It was just, it was the most grueling thing to ever go through. Courtney says here, exactly, my mother passed right before him and my husband before her. Grief is necessary and it never goes away. Congratulations on coming off Zoloft. I'm scared to come off my SSRIs. I honestly, I'm not a doctor. I can't say what one should and shouldn't do, and everyone's chemistry is a little different. But after I did research, it's something that I spoke with my doctor about, and we agreed that that's the path to go. Um, I was trying to. I started this whole medication path because um, my daughter, when she was 3, 4 years old, I started noticing that things are a little different. Like we were really thinking autism, and the doctors were willing to say ADD. So I started the ADD meds before she did. I wanted to be the one to go through the gauntlet, uh, and be the test dummy. Really, I didn't want to start medication on my daughter. Me and my wife did come to the agreement that if what we saw as behavior or what was going on with her started affecting her schooling, then we'd look into medication. So once it actually did start messing with her education, I had already been on medications for years, so we tried kind of the same process that I had tried. Um, Long story short, she's off of all medications now. She's 11 years old. She's an awesome, beautiful child. I've got another daughter that with my wife. Again, 10 years old, beautiful child. Um, I do have a 28-year-old daughter, and I got a 23-year-old boy and an 18-year-old boy. So I've got 5 kids and uh, 3 baby mamas and 1 wife. So I tied it down and got smart later on in life. I want to touch on something that Courtney did say is the grief. I call grief the GSR of the therapy world, the gunshot residue, the grief, shame, and remorse. That's one of the biggest things that I've noticed that tie people back to their addiction or back to their dangerous behavior, self-inflicted behavior, and stuff like that. And I, in my life, I've done at least 35 years of cognitive restructuring programs. Since I was 12 years old, I started therapy. Um, the GSR, the guilt, shame, and remorse, is the hardest thing to do any kind of step work on, and it's really once I got a better understanding, it was easier because it was really me that I had to get past. It was my own guilt, my own shame, and my own remorse for what I had done. The folks that I was able to make amendments to, I did. I apologized or I replaced what I took or damaged in the past. Some things that you can't, some people they won't accept that apology, and you'll actually never talk to them again. You know, that's a loss that I had to choke up. But that guilt, shame, and remorse, if anyone's going through any kind of addiction and whatnot, I always tell them to really focus on working on that. If you need someone that's a specialist, that's who you should be reaching out to. Um, no, hey Courtney, I appreciate you. Uh, Guys, I kind of want to just pull the plug on it here. Um, right now, I got so much stuff on my phone that it'll just be me going live. I'm not monetized. I'm not asking for money. Um, at some point, I'll be on with JD. Uh, he's on vacation right now, so when he gets a chance, him and I are going to collaborate. I'll be on there. We'll do a couple things together. I don't know if you guys have ever seen me out on the streets of Portland with him. I was up there once, up in the background security for him. So I really appreciate you guys coming out. Richard, I see you there, man. I love you guys. Big love and respect, man. We'll talk to you later. Bye.